Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. For today's video I am going to be giving you some advice and review the Model 1 size of the Diva Menstrual cup. Now without further delay, let's just get straight into it. So I've actually been using the cup for around 4/5 months maybe, and the first thing I want to say about this is that it is definitely something that you need to get used to really spend the time to practice with the cup. And that might sound silly, I guess, to some people, but that's definitely something that you have to do. It is very, very different when you compare it to a tampon. It's inserted completely differently as well, and it does take, I would say, maybe around 2 to 3 menstrual cycles to properly get used to the cup. So I think that as long as you read the instructions and you just take the time out to practice with it, then you pretty much should get the hang of it almost straight away. And I think one of my biggest concerns, and perhaps it's a concern for many of the other girls out there, when I came to research into menstrual cups, I was literally like, how on earth am I going to fit that inside of me? And also as well, it's like, how on earth would this even be comfortable inside of me, you know? But trust me, although it can be uncomfortable if you are putting it in for the first time and you're just starting out, after a lot of trial and error, it can become a very comfortable thing to wear, and this can be worn for so much longer than your typical tampons or sanitary towels anyway. For those that don't know, there's usually 2 main types of folds that you can use when inserting your menstrual cup. The first one being this type of fold, which is typically named the U fold. I actually personally prefer this fold as I find it much easier for the cup to unfold when it's actually inside. Then there is this fold, which I did try but it just didn't work for me, and that is what it looks like right there. To be quite honest, I always forget the name for this one, so I personally just call it the taco fold because to me it looks like a little taco. So don't ask, but that's my thought process apparently. So I will recommend that you do try both of them, and you try both folds a few different times as well. Don't just try it once, because to be honest, the first time I tried the U fold, it didn't work for me, but then I ended up getting the hang of it. I'm sure there's more folds than just those 2, but those are the 2 most spoken about ones that you will come across. It's also recommended that you do use water or some kind of lubricant on the cup when inserting it, especially if you haven't, quite gotten used to it yet. I do know that a lot of people actually say that lubricant is better, but for me, I find that water is absolutely fine and it does the job no problem. So just before you go out and purchase like a bottle of lubricant, just try just water, and maybe you can get away with it like I can, because of course the thing is, everybody is different. We all have our own preferences, and that's completely fine. What works for me may not for you, vice versa. Moving on to talking about the look and feel of the cup, it's very, very soft, as you can probably see, but one thing I found was that the top rim is quite hard compared to the rest of it, which, to be honest, I can completely understand why it's like that, but this sometimes makes it look and feel a little bit bulky. There are usually around 2 or 3 sizes to any brand of menstrual cup, so make sure that if you do want to purchase one, you get the right one for you. And of course, different brands offer different pros and cons, so look into many different brands and pick the one that you think will suit your lifestyle the best. Other than that, I think to many people it actually looks scarier than it is. Maybe scary is the wrong word, but hopefully you guys are understanding what I'm meaning. I just want to quickly mention as well that menstrual cups are definitely not going to be for you if you don't like touching your own period blood. It can get a little bit messy. Like, quick story time I guess, but the first time I ever emptied my cup out, I actually spilled everything all over myself. Like, it was all down my leg and everything, and to be quite honest, it's not a good look. I wouldn't recommend it, but to be honest, I think that if you're careful, you should be fine. But this is of course just a warning, that's just something that happened to me. But just to offer I guess some reassurance, in the time that I've been using this cup, I have never had any spillages whilst it has been inside of me. My advice is, if you are a little bit wary, wear a pad as well as the cup. Even carry what you would perhaps normally wear during your cycle in your bag, like tampons or whatever you tend to use. The instructional leaflet says not to wear it through the night when you're just beginning to use the cup. However, I did use it through the night quite early on because I just felt comfortable. However, I did still wear a sanitary towel with the cup, just as a backup, I guess, in case of any spillages. Really, it's all about just taking your time to get to know the cup, how it works, and you will develop like trust with it, I guess. Cleaning it is super easy. You can purchase special cleaning soaps if you want to, but you can just clean it by soaking it in boiling hot water for around about 10 minutes just to sterilize it. You should be cleaning your cup after and before every single use, but if you can't for whatever reason, like for example, I don't know, you're in a public restroom whether there isn't as much privacy there, then just use, you know, some tissues or something just to get it clean. But just remember that it has to be cleaned as soon as you can. And also just remember that it is recommended that you use scent-free products when you're cleaning out your cup. And also it's the same when you wash your hands. You've got to wash your hands before and after inserting or removing the cup, also preferably with scent-free products. So one of the most frequently asked questions on these cups is, do they fall out or can they fall out? The answer is no. I mean, I've never had any problems with it, and I feel like as long as it is in right, you should not have any problems. The thicker part of the cup, so the rim, basically holds the cup in place when you insert it. It's like a weird suction process, and what I do, and this is recommended when you insert the cup, is basically just double check that the cup has unfolded right. If it isn't, then it is not going to catch all of the stuff that it needs to catch, and you need to basically take the cup out and start again. But the way that I find is best and easiest to check if it's fully unfolded is I take a finger and run it around the bottom of the cup. Also, to be quite honest, although this may sound a bit ugh, you will hear a strange sound when inserting and also removing the cup, and this sound basically lets you know if the cup is in and it is unfolded completely. If you don't hear like this weird suction sound, then your cup has not fully unfolded, and like I said, you know, you need to take it out and start again. But honestly, so far my experience with the cup has been very good. It did take me quite a while to really get the hang of using it, especially inserting it correctly, so expect to not be able to put it in right first time. I promise though that when you do get used to it, it is a lifesaver, and it's a lot more environmentally friendly compared to tampons and other sanitary towels as well. They can hold more fluids, you can keep them in for longer, and also you can keep using these cups for, I want to say, about 5 years maybe, before you need to replace it. So these are, although somewhat expensive, I believe I paid about £20 for mine, they are actually worth the money in the long run. Let me know your thoughts on menstrual cups if you have used them before. Did you like them? Did you not? If you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any more questions or queries about the menstrual cup, if I can answer them, I will. Just let me know by dropping me a comment. If you're new here, click on that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I also hope to see you in my next video.